everyone. Welcome back to the cottage. I hope you have your Christmas cheer about you because today we are talking about the beautiful holly tree, Tinne holly. And it's the letter T in the Celtic alphabet. And I love this tree because it just screams Christmas time. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Everybody recognizes those spiky leaves. Let me get my porcupine quill. Everybody recognizes these spiky leaves, and everybody recognizes these beautiful red berries. It just is so recognizable. Everybody's seen these. If not in real life, then everybody's seen them as decoration around Christmas time, usually plastic. You know, everybody's seen these guys. But do people really even know where they come from? And most of the time the answer is no. So today we're gonna find all of that out. So like I said, this Tinne, Tinne is pronounced Tinne, and it's the letter T. So this is the tree of sacrifice or the tree of balance. And it is 3 lefties. And I love my little holly stave because you can kind of see the green. Look at that. Oh, I love it. It's so easy to find amongst all the other staves in my bag, which is so nice. Isn't that cool? So the folk names of Tinne or holly is Christ's thorn, holy tree, home, hoverbush, holfear, and bat swings, if you can believe it. Now, this tree has a special place in the history of midwinter festivals and folklore, as you might have guessed. And it's certainly a reverence associated with it, as its common name was another word for holy. So that kind of explains it right there, where holly and holy get put in with Christmas time. So holy day being the original meaning to the modern holiday. There we go. Now, because of its red berries and evergreen nature, holly has been associated with the crucifixion and the blood of Christ, also known as Christ's thorn. Now, this magical tree does indeed deserve the line of all the trees in the wood, holy wears the crown. So, yep. It is very sacred. So, people of Celtic ancestry were believed to collect holly at midnight in solitude and leave a drop of blood as an offering in exchange for the red berried holly. Now, this is just the Celts' tradition, not necessarily everyone else's tradition. Now, holly was supposed to be taken down along with all other Christmas decorations besides mistletoe by January 6th, which is 12th night. Now, decorating the chimney with holly was originally a protective act. The chimney represented, along with windows and doors, a place where maleficent spirits could enter the home. So this is a very protective plant shrubbery. It meant you were protected because those red leaves, red is very much protective, and the spikes on the leaves also represented protection. Now, there are old Irish legends that tell of the yearly battle between the Holly King and the Oak King. We talked about this last week with the Oak King. Now, this battle was supposed to be based on the waxing sun and the waning moon, with the holly representing the dark half. Oh, I'm sorry, the waning sun, with the holly representing the dark half and the oak, the light half of the year. So they split the years, right? In Brittany, holly was the devil's counterpart to the oak tree. Now, from old Germanic lore, the holly tree was actually sacred to the winter nature spirit, Mother Hole, or Goddess Hole. And Germanic witches who worshipped her preferred to use Hollywood for their magic wands. So I kind of love that little bit of lore there. Now, holly in general was used for protection from nightmares, demons, and evil magic. The green prickled leaf variety as associated with male luck, while the smooth variegated variety with female luck. For me, it's just all lucky, you know, it's all luck and it's all protection. I don't like to distinguish between the two. It's just lucky. Now, there are many superstitions associated with holly, and while it was considered a lucky plant, it was unlucky to bring the flowers indoors. To burn green holly wood and to stamp on a holly berry or to cut down a wild holly tree. Those were big no-nos. Now, to break the bad luck for the following year, one could put a sprig of red-berried holly in a wreath. Now, being an evergreen, it was a custom in some places to bring a holly branch into a home after a death to help purify the space. That kind of like undoes all the bad luck. I don't know if I'm particularly a superstitious person. I do have a few that I follow. Like, I don't like shoes on the table. And that's just because I was a drama geek in high school and shoes on the table were bad luck. So I don't like to do that. But I'm not a particularly superstitious person. Superstition, if you believe in it, it has power, but if you don't, it doesn't, in my opinion. Now, holly was both a plant of the fairies and elves, and also a protector from their tricks, depending on the luck. Now, it was considered a fairy plant in Northern Ireland. Now, if a church door was built of holly wood, no witch could enter. I highly doubt that's true. I highly doubt that's true. You know, it's superstition. Now, a Wiltshire tradition was that a wreath made of holly and bay leaves would keep witches out of the home if hung at the door, as a witch would be stuck outside compelled to count the red berries. Now, if a holly rod was placed in milk, it would not sour. Again, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know about that. The red berries wouldn't take that long to count. And if milk's going to sour eventually, it's going to sour. I don't know. From Germany, witches used red holly berries to brew up thunderstorms. They were used in their ointments and incense. Holly is under the dominion of Saturn and therefore was used for communications with the dead. Because of its prickles, Holly greenery could be used in defensive magic as well. I'll buy that. Now, holly is sacred to the Scandinavian gods Odin and Thor. Odin's spear, Gugnir, I'm sorry, I'm not Norse. I apologize if I pronounce that wrong, was made of holly and was said to never miss its target. Holly is also sacred to the thunder god Thor, who was especially important to Viking warriors. Yeah, he and his hammer were seriously vengeful and yeah, meant business. Now, holly wreaths were used during the Roman festival of Saturnalia to honor the god Saturn, also known as the Greek Kronos. I didn't know those two were the same thing. I learned something new, you guys. Now, he was an agricultural god associated with old age and is known as Old Father Time. Saturnalia took place originally on December 17th, but was later extended to the 23rd, covering the winter solstice. It was the precursor to the Christian festival of Christmas. So revels, gift giving, and feasting were its central features. Sounds like Christmas time, right? Now, Saturn and Kronos, as gods of the winter solstice, are of course akin to the Holly King himself and the old men of winter holding fort until the spring. So there you go. There's your lore. Practical and magical uses. Now, holly is great for love and long-term commitment spells. So listen, I'm going to say it again. Use your sigil. You do not have to have an actual holly tree or the berries or the leaves. Remember, that's why I give you guys these sigils so that you can use them. So men carrying holly leaves were said to be irresistible to women. So make a sigil. Carry it in your pocket. There you go. Now, holly and chinya, when I say chinya, I'm talking about the sigil, okay? Chinya was very protective during the winter months. So that's your winter month protection sigil, okay? Now, holly and chinya are fiery, fertile energy, and sacred to the sun. So you can harness that now during winter time. Now, when planted near the home, holly guards against lightning and witchcraft. Now, a tincture of holly or holly-infused water was sometimes sprinkled over newborn babies for protection, as well as to ensure good health and keeping the baby's life force strong. You can also write down chinya and put it under the crib. There you go. Better yet, paint it on the crib. There you go. It's great for sleep magic. It induces good dreams and insomnia. Wonderful. Place a holly leaf or chinya or some hollywood under your pillow for prophetic dreams and to gain wisdom. Make a sachet. Take the sigil, put it in there, or do what I do, and I take a Sharpie and just write the sigil on the muslin bag itself. Now, holly wands are good for protection, spells for legal success, competition. It encourages swift resolution or sudden manifestation. So does chinya. Burning holly leaves as an incense is useful for legal spells, protection, courage, endurance, success into any project. So is Tinne. I mean, I sound like a broken record, but any of these things you can use the sigil for, okay? It is useful for sex magic, especially between already established partners, as it may help rekindle desires, and hung over the bedpost or burnt as an incense, it will help raise the life force and libido. This is especially the case for men, as its masculine fiery energy will increase appetite and vigor. So yeah, if that's what you want, be careful what you're working with, because it will work very well. Now, here's your linked concepts. So these are your keywords to keep around when you want to use Tinne or holly for your magic. So, life force, vitality, protection, balance, integrity, legal issues, endurance, courage, and success. Those are your go-to keywords when you can use the sigil or holly itself. All right. Correspondences. These have also shrunk down because there's just way too many. I'm revamping this series a little bit just because there's just so many, and it's just gotten convoluted and too much. We're getting lost in the forest. Hint, hint. It's trees. I'm hilarious. Get it? All right. So, your elements, water and fire. Your zodiac, Cancer, Leo, Aries. Your deities, Saturn, Kronos, Thor, Odin, Kaliakber, Cernunnos, the Dagda, Hole, Lu, Tyrannus. Your colors, red and green, obviously. Your totems are the cat, the unicorn, and fairies. Your calendar, and this is just one, you're going to find other dates as you research. This just made the most sense for me according to the pagan calendar. All right. May 16th to June 20th, the 8th lunation, and May and June. Now, your related species, Aquafoliaceae, I can never say those, so sometimes I skip them. Your yerba mate, winterberry, inkberry, American holly, and Chinese holly. And there's your correspondences. Much better, right? Okay, on to healing. There's a big caution, you guys. Holly berries are mildly poisonous and dangerous to small children. Keep them away. All right, be very cautious. All right. So herbally, holly leaf tea in very small proportions can induce sweating, ridding the body of toxins and fevers. Now, it was sometimes used as a tea substitute in Europe for coughs and colds, as well as bladder complaints, rheumatism, and arthritis. But they really don't know how much is too much, so err on the side of caution there. The berries are very purgative, yet when dried are very good for soothing stomach disorders and heavy menstruation. So again, err on the side of caution. Weak holly tea is also said to help calm the emotions, particularly anger and jealousy. Now, Nicholas Culpeper writes that the holly is under the governance of Saturn, as we know, and recommends using a poultice of holly bark and leaves for broken bones and dislocations. That's a very safe way to use it. Now, a vibrational essence of holly, which is the safest way to use holly, is good for relieving feelings of jealousy, envy, anger, and revenge, and all challenges of the shadow self. This is a very shadow plant. It's a very shadowy shrub. Say that 5 times. In short, it addresses the prickly parts of people's natures. Just remember that. It's prickly, so it works with the prickly parts inside of us. It helps overcome these difficulties and the feelings of fear and inadequacy or insecurity that can accompany them by raising and freeing up the emotional energy. Once you have released difficult feelings or internal turmoil, healing and a more positive outlook can eventually be achieved. We have to look at those prickly parts of ourselves and then we can heal them, but we have to recognize them. We can't repress them down, right? Right. Okay. Divination. Now, I'm going to use my green holly. That's why I have this down here today. Look, it's so pretty. I love it. Green's my favorite color, if you guys didn't know. All right. So I also condensed the divination meaning because we didn't need a whole paragraph. So if you pulled this upright, your divination meaning is raising of the life force to have enough energy to face our shadows. It's the passionate energy to overcome challenges. It's like the we got this, right? Now, roots up is reversed. We are running from life's challenges and we are taking the easy way out. No bueno, right? We're repressing. We're shoving it back down again. We see it, but we're like, nah, we'll repress that some more. So we want it upright so we can look at it and deal with it. All right. So that was Holly. I hope you guys liked the shortened version of these episodes because it's going to be this way from now on so that I don't get overwhelmed, so you guys don't get overwhelmed. Win-win. All right. So please give this video a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, hit that bell for more notifications so you don't miss my next tree coming up. And I believe that is, let's see, holly. I think it's the hazel. I think it's the hazel. I'm pretty sure. And then we also have my magical plant series, what we're doing. So be sure you don't want to miss that. Hit up my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com to shop my my holistic healing products and my magical and spell supplies. I have so many new products on there. Don't want you to miss that. Just remember at checkout to punch in the code word, all caps veiled, to get your free shipping. That is my gift from me to you just for watching this video. Also check out our new workshops, services, readings from my good friend Bobby, who is over at Wild Raven Tarot. You don't want to miss his channel. Go over there, check him out. He's amazing. And then we also have, you can find me at the farmer's market where I'm going to be each Saturday. So check out my website. If you'd like to financially support this channel or tip me, all of those links are going to be down in the description box, where you can find me very easily and just tip your hat to me. Only if you want to, no pressure there. Just live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.